Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing an in-depth makeup tutorial. So I have my makeup all laid out and in here in my Tower 28 makeup bag. So I already did my skin prep. I used the Rhode skin prep. I kind of use that as my primer, and I used these under eye patches that I got off Amazon from the brand CosRx. Skin tint, but it does provide some coverage as well as leaving my skin glowy. Blend that out with a beauty blender. This isn't actually the beauty blender brand. I think this one's from Real Techniques. In my opinion, the beauty blender actual name brand works just as well as the other brands like Real Technique, Ulta brand, Sephora brand. Honestly, anyone that you can buy at Target or Ulta, because I don't believe it's worth spending $20 on a makeup sponge. So that's all blended out. It is a little bit too light for me right now, but I'm going to be going in with two different concealers. One's actually my skin tone, and then one that is a little bit lighter to kind of brighten up my face. I'm going to let my concealer sit for a little bit so it gets tacky and provides more coverage. But in the meantime, I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows. Makeup steps I do now that I used to never do when I first started wearing makeup when I was like 16, 17, and now I'm 24. So my makeup routine has definitely came a long way since then. I've been using this brow gel. It's the Got To Be brow gel. It's my favorite ever. It works like normal hair gel in my eyebrow. My eyebrow hairs don't go anywhere, which is something I really like, because before finding this good one, my eyebrows would just like lose their shape throughout the day. And with the same sponge, I'm going to blend out my concealer, and I blend it out while looking a little bit up to prevent any creasing. I'll be using a brightening powder and the Real Techniques 402 brush. I'm going to only use this under my eyes to set my concealer. Going in with my Rhode blush in the shade Sleepy Girl, and this brush came out for the Summer Fridays Beauty Balm blush thing. I'm not too sure how it's called. A little bit of blush on my cheeks, a little bit on my nose as well. Now the blush does look a little crazy, but once I set it with an actual powder blush, it's going to look a lot better. I do kind of go heavy-handed on the blush because I have noticed that the Rhode blushes tend to like fade or not be shown on my face as much throughout the day. So going in with a little bit more cream blush and also setting the blush with a powder blush as well. Going in with my Huda Easy Bake, I'm going to set the rest of my face and bake my face at the same time. I'm going to use a powder puff to kind of bake my face and kind of like draw a line where my bronzer will go. I also started baking around my smile line and my mouth in general because I noticed that's where my concealer would crease at the most throughout the day. But honestly, this is one of my favorite loose setting powders. I used a lot of different ones before, but this is like the second time I repurchased this one in particular. Powder puff to kind of set everywhere on my face, and I'm going back under my eyes even though I know I already set those. I'm going to use the same brush from earlier to set under my eyes. Now I'm going to take this brush and just kind of sweep away the excess powder, as well as set the rest of my face, like right here, like by my nose. I'm going to set it a little bit better. Going with bronzer. I like to rub any excess product on the back of my hand. That way it doesn't look too muddy or patchy. Put it on my cheekbones, the sides of my nose. I really go in with a smaller brush for my bronzer, and then I also put some on my forehead as well. This bronzer, I believe I got it at Target, less than $10. Obviously it's drugstore, but I prefer some drugstore products over higher end products that you can buy from Sephora. I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush right here and a little bit of powder and just apply some powder all over my eyelids. I feel like applying powder on my eyes kind of makes the makeup look all cohesive together. Again, this is something I used to not do, but once I started, I couldn't go back. Using a fluffier brush and a powder blush. This blush is from the brand Essence, I believe. It's the shade 40 Beloved. It's all broken, but this blush has lasted me a long time. I'm barely gonna hit pan, but I'm just gonna kind of use it to set the cream blush that I put on earlier. I'm gonna go back with the powder. I'm going to bake my face one more time while we finish up the eye look. Just grabbing the powder in the lid with my beauty sponge and just carving out my face. My eyelashes right now, the first makeup product I ever was allowed to wear at like 14 was mascara. And I remember being told that I put too much on. Mascara privileges taken away, which back in the day, that was like an insult to me. I thought that was like the craziest thing ever, but now here I am at 24 with a full face of makeup. I like to look down into a mirror and blink on the mascara wand while I apply mascara. I just feel like this gives me the best results without making my eyelashes look too clumpy. Filling the eyelashes and then looking down into the mirror while I apply the mascara. Take this brush and just wipe away all the excess powder on my face. I'm going to add a little bit more bronzer. I love a glowy yet bronzed makeup look. I kind of want to do like a full face of drugstore makeup, specifically like the MCO Beauty that apparently like dupes Charlotte Tilbury. But these days every brand is duping everything, especially e.l.f. They make a lot of dupes, which I have personally tried, and I haven't tried all the dupes, but I do know that I do like a few. Now going in with this face palette, I'm gonna apply a little bit more blush. I think it's safe to say that blush is my favorite makeup product. I just love how it kind of like brings your skin back to life. This blush does provide like a good glow, which I like. Using the Sephora number 5 brush, I'm just going to use this shade up here and use it as a highlighter. Does anyone remember the 2016 Amrezy Anastasia collab with the highlighter that everyone went crazy for, that apparently now it's not available to purchase anymore? I unfortunately couldn't get my hands on it at that time, but I believe that this Dior Strobe and Gold is a close dupe, or like, not necessarily a dupe, but like the next closest product to the Amrezy highlight from Anastasia. But just applying some on the cheekbones and on my nose. Go with this dense side of my blush brush and just kind of blend it out a little bit, especially on my nose, and then just tap it in on my cheekbones. Now for lips, I have an array of different products. Right now I'm loving the Rhode Peptide Lip Tint in the shade Jelly Bean and the Makeup by Mario Wade. So I'm just gonna use this to line my lips. So I use that pencil to line my lips, and then I'm gonna use the Rhode shade Jelly Bean to kind of provide a gloss, also blending out the lip liner at the same time. A lot of people didn't like the peptide lip tint from Rhode because the formula was grainy, and apparently you had to like boil it in water to like remake the formula. And honestly, if I bought one that was like that, I wouldn't have repurchased, but I have repurchased this one and the regular ones that are like clear with no tint, and I never had that grainy experience. I finished the makeup look with some setting spray. While my face is still a little bit more damp, I'm gonna go back in with this palette and add a tiny bit more blush. That's it for the finished makeup. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye guys.